What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, let me tell you something. The boogeyman can be anywhere at any given time. There are people out here that commit crimes that have some twist in them that you never even see coming, like a curveball of sorts that like blows your mind and has you scratching your head. What I'm about to show you is unbelievable. You see this guy up here? I ain't never heard of this case. This guy's name is Brian Giles from Jonestown, Pennsylvania. This guy right here was just this past Thursday, it's Saturday now, 2 days ago, this guy was convicted or found guilty in trial of first-degree murder of his wife, pictured here, Nancy Giles. She went missing in October 2018. Her remains were found May of 2019 in a field, badly decomposed next to a road, right? Cause of death was said because it was skeletal remains. Cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head because she had a crack in her skull. This guy right here was charged May of 2022. Now, he just had his trial. Like I said, he was found guilty. But that's not the kick. Before I tell y'all what the kick is, and stay tuned, let me show the video of this first crime that he just got convicted of, in case some of you guys, bring some of you guys back. Take a look.
County homicide trial is over.
The jury convicting Brian Giles of first-degree murder and aggravated assault early this afternoon.
Those charges stem from the death of his wife, Nancy, who went missing in October of 2018. Her skeletal remains were found near the Johnstown Incline Plain in May of 2019, with investigators noting that her skull had been cracked.
Her death was ruled a homicide, but it wasn't until May of 2022 that her husband, Brian, was charged in her death. Jordan Mansberger was in the courtroom today for closing arguments and the verdict. And Jordan, we understand that you heard from the DA on this case as well as from Giles himself immediately after that verdict was read.
Maggie and Marty, that's right, and Giles was visibly upset, but maintains that he's innocent. Nonetheless, prosecutors say that they are happy with the jury's decision, which came about an hour after their deliberations began. After the verdict was read, Giles was escorted to the elevator by two officers. When asked what he thought of the verdict, he still maintained his innocence.
Is there anything you want people to know, Giles?
Yeah, I just want them to know that I'm innocent. Like, you know, the cops signed it on the stand. They said they never abused me and stuff, but they did.
What do you hope comes next?
There really ain't nothing I can hope for, right? Everybody got what they wanted. I get screwed again in the long run.
The prosecution said in their closing statement that the reason for there being no physical or DNA evidence in this case is because the body of Nancy Giles had decomposed in the year after Giles had killed and buried her in 2018.
This case didn't have the smoking gun, so to speak.
Still, Cambria County District Attorney Greg Neubauer says that there was more than enough evidence for the jury to convict.
We always believe that when you sit down and you look at all the evidence, you look at all the circumstantial evidence, you look at all the inconsistent statements, you look at all the stories trying to be weaved throughout this, it all comes to one conclusion.
Giles' attorney Tim Burns has urged the jury all week not to make a, quote, conviction of convenience. Now he says they are planning their next steps.
We're going to have some discussions with our client over the next 2 months. We're going to look at the trial, look at any issues that came up, and then we'll look at our options after sentencing.
We're very happy and pleased that the jury got it right. Obviously, we've believed that Brian killed his wife. We've believed that since even before charges were filed when we were preparing the case.
You see that? Johnstown, Pennsylvania, native Brian Giles, found guilty in court for the murder and disappearance of his wife who went missing in October 2018. Now check this out. This past Thursday, he was found guilty. His sentence is, like they said, is in August of this year. It might have to get pushed back because, like I told you, some of the stuff you hear is stuff you can write a movie about. Thursday, he was found convicted of first-degree murder. Yesterday, the day after he was in court, a body is found in the basement floor of the house he was staying at. Police believe it's this woman right here, whose name I can't remember. She's the girlfriend he was messing with after his wife was missing. Make it make sense. Now, it's not confirmed if it's her or not, but all the cards are on the table, and it looks like this is something you write a movie about. Check this out.
A significant update in the story of Brian Giles, suspected human remains found in the basement of his former home.
Giles was just convicted of murder yesterday in his wife's death. Right now, you're looking live at that house located on the 500 block of Franklin Street in Kernville.
Police, along with forensic investigators and members of the district attorney's and coroner's offices, were in the basement of the home all day. It has since quieted down. Brock Owens will join us live from the scene in just a moment.
But first, this developing story comes just a day after Brian Giles was found guilty of first-degree murder for killing his wife. Nancy disappeared in 2018. Her body was found several months later, buried in a shallow grave along a Johnstown trail. She lived in that Franklin Street home with Giles for several years before her disappearance.
Investigators have been on scene throughout the day at Giles' former home. Brock Owens is there right now. Brock, what's the latest?
Yeah, and again, it's really been more calmed down this evening. There's no police presence or other investigators on scene as we talk right now. Even the police tape has been taken down at this time, but certainly those investigators were making their way in and out of the basement that's near the back of this home along Franklin Street, because that is where human remains were found buried in a dirt room, according to authorities. After Brian Giles was convicted of killing his wife on Thursday, authorities say they're executing a search warrant on Friday at his former residence along Franklin Street in the Kernville neighborhood of Johnstown. Officials say on Thursday they received specific information and came to the home before the search on Friday.
At this point, we have what we believe to be human remains, clearly suspicious. At this point, that's what we know and that we can definitively say.
This is a unique case that we don't see every day.
The Cambria County Coroner's and District Attorney's offices are joined by Johnstown Police and a forensic anthropologist team from Mercyhurst University. Cambria County Coroner Jeff Lees says a cadaver dog was also brought in searching for the remains.
The dog hit multiple times in this certain location.
Buried 2 to 3 feet deep in a dirt room in the basement of the home, remains were found, investigators say, but an identity is not yet known.
Making that positive identification at this point in time is my main concern, to give closure to some family out there.
Lee says an autopsy will be done Saturday as the investigation continues.
If we get to a point where we're able to charge that, then more information can come forward at that point in time.
And we'll continue following this story as it develops, but to make sure you're keeping up with the latest, you can visit our website, wjactv.com. Live in Cambria County, Brock Owens, 6 News.
We again want to remind you that authorities have not confirmed the identity of those remains. However, it is worth mentioning that Brian Giles' ex-girlfriend, Jilly Tadero, has been missing since December of 2020. Tadero also reportedly shared that apartment with Brian Giles. He was charged for assaulting Tadero just days before she disappeared. Tadero was seen in Central Park the morning of December 12, 2020, and was never seen again. Back in January of 2021, police searched that same apartment for clues about Tadero's disappearance, but didn't report finding anything during that time.
If you've been following along on social media, viewers have been reacting to today's discovery at that home. Tiffany says in part, quote, "Funny how he got convicted yesterday and then this today. Such a shame. So heartbreaking and sad They didn't say who it is yet, so we'll wait for official confirmation.
Melissa says without information that a body would be on site, the original searches would have only been searching the home for clues of a struggle, etc.
Daniel says, there you have it. Wish the circumstances were different, but I hope this brings some closure to the friends and family. Rest in peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you, is that crazy or what? You got the killer, the husband, Brian Giles, got his wife, the victim, missing since October 2018. Then another body found in his house the day after he's found guilty of murdering his wife. Presumably, they think belongs to this woman here. Who is this woman? Giles Tadero, missing since December 2020. This guy killed his wife, got rid of the body, just started kicking it with somebody else. That didn't work out. Got rid of her too. But she's missing. I'm probably thinking that everything online, the murder and everything, the way she died, all the stuff, the method and everything. This dude had serial killer vibes. You had a woman and killed her in the house she was living with your first wife before you killed her. It's crazy. It's crazy out here. It's amazing how stuff comes together in the timing of this. All I got to say is, guys, I mean, did you see him in the thing? He's already institutionalized. When they, in the first video, when they asked him, when he was going into, there's nothing I can do, man. It don't matter. He already used to being locked up. That's why I say a lot of people need to be shown the flowers. This man took 2 women off the planet, presumably 2 mothers. At least they were children of somebody else that'd be missing them if they're still alive. But still, man, it's a ripple effect that's going around here. And it's like some people, man, don't care. Bro, you could have got a divorce. Looking at that raggedy ass fucking house, ain't like you ain't had nothing to lose. Shit didn't work, it didn't work. Man, it's like, it's crazy how like all of a sudden nowadays, death is the only option. Till death do we part. Till death do we part. And it's like people are pushing it all the way to the letter. But anyway, I wanted to share that story with y'all, man. Leave me a comment, man. Tell me what y'all think about this story. This is wild. Like, you can't draw this up. But anyway, I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.